Hi folks, this is Dragon again, still at our retreat. Geology. It sometimes pays to have a little bit of knowledge about rocks and rock formation. Helps you understand what ground you're on, soil types, location of maybe underwater aquifers, underground aquifers and things like that. Certainly in the bigger picture of schemes it may help you with building materials and all sorts of stuff like that. So I'll run through a few basics of what I observed here. It's a little bit of a hobby of mine. I'm by no means an expert, but this site used to be an ancient riverbed, probably dating back to dinosaur days. As you can see in the ground around here, there's a lot of coarse sand. A lot of it is quartz. Now further back down towards the bore, and I'll go down sometime later, it's all sand, river sand. Yes, there's a little bit of loam in it from decaying matter, plants and stuff over a very, very, very long time. But the basic constituent of the soil out here is river sand. Now, one of the reasons why we didn't bury some type of construction or build a bunker was that very early in the piece we found out that this area has a very thick, heavy conglomerate rock shelf running probably a mile off to my right and probably another mile off to my left. But from front to back, this camera, it runs at various depths in the soil, all the way down, for quite a few miles. So to build a bunker type situation, one that's deep enough to serve any real purpose, is you're going to have to get a contractor in here to dig the stuff out. And of course we all know that presents its own problems. Contractor goes and has a beer at the local pub or bar on a Friday night, and next thing you know, half the neighbourhood knows what he's been doing this week and knows that somebody's buried something in the ground or was about to bury something in the ground. So, and apart from that, it's quite expensive. But anyway, to give you some idea, this is quartz. Quartz is a very hard crystalline volcanic rock. It takes a long time of water action to wear it smooth like that. So you can appreciate, there's quartz all through this soil. Just how long it's taken to wear that quartz down. Further up here we've got what they call sedimentary rock. And over millions of years, it's just through chemical reaction, heat and pressure, it's just formed a rock from silt, river silt, sand, anything like that, into a very, it's a light rock actually. It's very light. You can probably see in that one, you can see grains of sand in it. This is a good example of silt. I'll just lick it. You can see the grains coming out now. That's laid down. That's been laid down over millions of years. And the other side has been, through water action, just rounded off. Here we have some volcanic rock. Much denser, much heavier. It's got a bit of quartz in it. So, it gives you an idea of the makeup of the soil around here. Now, not far south of here, there's an open cut coal mine. Very poor quality coal, and it's got quartz spread right through it. In fact, it's caused quite a few problems with the coal-fired power station not far from here. So that gives you some idea of the age of what we're looking at here when it's mixed in with coal. As we all know, coal was formed millions of years ago from plant life and that sort of thing falling into swamps. So this was an ancient riverbed. Through geological history, there was an uplift. Our retreat is actually on the top of, very near the top of a hill. So yeah, no water flows as such as a stream or a river, and I would think this was quite a big river. So the problem with this soil is, because it's so sandy, there's a little bit of loam in it in some places. It doesn't hold the moisture very well for crops and that sort of thing. So it does need a lot of work, composting, mulch and that sort of stuff. Over there where the big dog is, there's a bit of loam in that. So a little bit more work, and you'll probably grow something in there. In fact, we have grown stuff out here. This is a trial, and it does work on a large scale production type thing. The soil is going to need a lot of work. So that's a little bit on geology, folks. And Mountain Mike, that's why we couldn't put a bunker in, because not far below the surface here is a very thick sedimentary rock, very hard rock. In fact, up on the front boundary, when I tried to put a post in about 10 years ago, only went down a foot and hit that sedimentary bedrock, and that was it. There's no way I was going to get through it. So for us, the only other logical way was to use the caravans, or trailers as they're called in the United States. So that's about it, folks. Interesting area geologically. Certainly helps to understand the geology of the land. We try not to clear this too much because of the type of soil we've got here, mostly sand and sedimentary rock. The younger stuff will erode very quickly. We haven't cleared right back to bare dirt. I'll just wander down this way. It's pointing into the sun. Where I'm standing, it's about 200 metres down to the back boundary where the bore is. Now during heavy rains, rainstorms and that sort of thing, we get quite a lot of water flowing down here. The soil type, yes, soil erosion is a problem. So we don't clear this back to bare dirt. Needless to say, I'm not a hardcore left-wing greenie, but learn to read the land, respect the land, as the indigenous people did before European arrival, and it'll look after you. It's basic common sense in survival situations. On another matter, yes, there is wild game through here. There's a lot of birds around today. But we do have wallabies, kangaroos through here. Had a visitor yesterday, and the big goanna, George we called him, he is huge. Biggest goanna I've ever seen. He's still in the area. Excuse me. He's a guy you don't want to tangle with. And we've got scrub turkey through here too. I might also add, we do have wild dog packs in the area. The time we've been out here, I've only seen 2 purebred dingoes, but they crossbreed with domestic dogs, form dog packs, and they are a problem out here. We haven't had much of a problem here for quite a few years, but as pointed out on the forum in one topic, wild dogs are going to be a problem, particularly with livestock. As food gets short and they become more brazen, more brave, bigger packs, then humans have got a problem too. Here we have the prickly pear cactus. Stuff's really taken off over the last few years. Birds dropping the seeds off the fruit. Bit of bush tucker. This one hasn't flowered or fruited yet. Fruit's very good, very high in vitamin C. As I mentioned in one post, you've got to watch the seeds inside them. They're real tooth busters. You can make conserved jams and that sort of stuff out of it, or eat it raw straight off the plant. I think we're all pretty well aware of the hazards of the thorns and the fine hairs of the prickly pear plant. Of interest that virtually the whole plant is edible. As far as the petals and the stem goes, cook it up, has some medicinal uses, and just a little bit of bush tucker information there for you. They're very hard to keep under control. If a petal breaks off, or you break it off and just dump it on the ground, sprouts its own roots and up it comes again. So it propagates several ways through seeds and through the leaf petal itself. It's one of those things you've got to keep on top of, otherwise it gets out of control. But no, it's all good stuff. Love the bush. And we've got some scrub turkey nest or bush turkey nest mounds. There's one just up here. Don't know if I can see it. There's a lot of undergrowth here at the moment. It's just a nest somewhere. I found it quite a few years ago. Bush turkey, native bush turkey. They dig a mound, bury their eggs in it. It's a compost mound basically, and the heat from the decomposing matter, kept at a constant temperature, helps to hatch the eggs. This one up here has been dormant for quite a while, but having said that, it's a good form of compost. Not that you want to go and destroy too many nests. There are a lot of scrub turkey around here. As the bloke I was talking to yesterday said that they're breeding up very well. So there's one up here and there's another one probably 150 yards off to my left, so they're around. So this tour sort of area, hunting game, you can just pan around here and have a look at the thick bush. Okay, it's not like we're hunting deer or elk. Kangaroos and wallabies hide quite well in this stuff, and they're very hard to spot, and you've got to be very quick on the trigger. So it's more likely an area where you would set traps of some sort to try and catch them, because this is real thick bush, and believe me, they'll see you before you see them. So that's the way it is out here, folks. And I'll be back later on with another video. I'm trying to do as many as I can out here while I'm here, so give people some ideas, a different perspective on things. Just remember, it's Australian bush, not Canada, not North America, not Europe, it's Australia. So we do things a bit differently out here according to our climate, our seasons. As every good survivalist should do, take that into account wherever you are in the world, wherever you live, wherever you move, walk, drive, whatever. It's different. There are some concepts that are basic, but it's called adaptability. You've got to adapt to the environment around you, and this is the Australian environment. Thanks, folks.